In this tutorial, we'll cover AWS CodeDeploy. The first step will be to launch an instance and select a role with AWS CodeDeploy and tag the instance. Let's go to EC2, launch an instance, select Amazon Linux, and here we have the roles. We can't see any roles, so let's create a new role. Create role, EC2. Here let's look for CodeDeploy. Select Amazon EC2 role for AWS CodeDeploy. Give it a name. And the same name in here. Okay. Now if we go back here and refresh, we will see our role. Okay. Let's tag the instance. I'll name it web app. Select security group with HTTP and SSH. Select the key and launch the instance. View instances. And let's come back here. We'll create an application and create a deployment group. Go to CodeDeploy, Applications, Create Application. Name the application. I'll name it Web App, EC2. Created the application. Now let's create the deployment group. Here, let's give it a name, Web App Group. And here we can't see our role. Copy this code from here and go to IAM. Look for our role. This is it. Trust relationships. Edit trust relationship and paste the code in here. It'll add the EC2. Now if we come back here and refresh this page, let's name the group and we will find it here. Select Amazon EC2 instance. Name and the tag was web server, web app. Install AWS CodeDeploy agent only once. And for the deployment settings, let's use one at a time. And disable the load balancer. We created the group. The next step will be in the next tutorial. And we'll start by connecting to our instance. We will install Ruby and the CodeDeploy agent, and we will change the mode and add the execution to the install and add the install auto, and then we will check the service. I'll do it all at once. I'll copy everything from here and paste it in here. Everything is done. Let's check the status of the server. The service is the AWS CodeDeploy agent is running on this process ID. Okay, now let's check the configuration for AWS. We have to specify the access key, the secret key, and the region. Okay, let's copy the access key. and paste it here. Copy the secret key and paste it here. The region, this is my region, Virginia. And last, the format, let's type JSON. Okay, let's check it again. We have the region, the secret key, and the access key. The next step will be to check the buckets that we have. Okay, I have a few buckets. Let's check the buckets again. So we have these buckets. I remove this one, and let's create a bucket with the name web app bucket test2 in this region. Okay, it's created. Let's check for it, and we do have it here. And now let's enable the versioning for our new bucket. Okay, let's install Git. Let's do it manually. And then we'll install the agent. We have to provide the username. And the password. Now if we ls, we will see our repository, web app repo. Let's go to the repo, and ls we have all our files in here. Okay, the next step will be to deploy that to S3 bucket. Okay, we have an error in here. Okay, let's trouble the issue that we have in here. It says no application found for name web app deploy. Let's come back here and see that we have web app deploy in our app. Is not called web app deploy, it's called web app. Let's copy this and paste it here now. Yeah, everything is okay. We deployed the app. And now let's go to check if we have the app deployed on the instance. But first we need to create a deployment. So let's go to CodeDeploy and create a deployment. We have the application. Inside the application we have the deployment group, and now we're doing the deploy. So this is the group, and this is the bucket that we just created and put the app in it. Leave everything as is and create a deployment. We failed because of an error in here. Okay, I fixed the previous issue by adding inline policy in my IAM. I added inline policy from here, and I copied these lines, and I will put a link to this page in the description down below. This will grant the user, the IAM user, a permission to perform tasks on CodeDeploy. But we still have a new error in here. It says something went wrong with the validation. If we go down here, we see that the validate service is not okay. It failed. Everything was running okay, but the validate service failed. So let's go back to our code in here. And if we check the scripts, we have the validate here. In the validate, we have a line here that is ripping this text from our index file. And we don't have that in there, but we can grab something else. Let's grab this thing and put it in the validate. Okay, save, and let's go to git bash. Let's add, commit, and push. Now we have to go back to the server and do everything again. So let's do that. This is our instance. Let's connect to it. Let's see our repository. It's here. Let's remove it. I'll do sudo rm and remove. It's gone now. Let's come back here and let's start from here. Let's clone the repository. Provide the username. And the password. Let's do it again. Didn't work. The username first. And then the password. It didn't work this time because I removed the S3 permission, the policy, and I just added it and it works now. Now let's ls. Yes, we do have our repository in here. Let's push the code. Okay. Yeah, we can't push the code in here. Let's ls and go to our repository and we can do it in here. Yeah, it doesn't look okay. There's something wrong with this command. Let's add a hyphen in here and this should work. Yeah, it did work. Cool. Now let's go and see if we can deploy. We fix this error. Let's try and redeploy. Hopefully it will work this time. By the way, if we go to our AWS, the S3, we can see that we're pushing the app zip every time from the server. We have an error in here. Okay, to fix the error that we have in here, let's go to deployment and let's create a new deployment. I want to try to deploy the same thing. Go to applications, select our application, select our deployment group and create a deployment. Here we have the S3 buckets. Let's select the latest one, the one that has v7 in it. That's the one. And let's create a deployment. As we can see now, we succeeded. And to make sure, we can go to the instance and take the public IP and paste it here. Voila! This is it for this tutorial. See you in the next one.